I'm a 27-year-old woman, and I've been best friends with Jessica for over a decade now. We met in high school, and honestly, we've been through everything together: family drama, breakups, all the highs and lows that life throws your way. People always said we were like sisters, and I agreed. Jessica is the one constant in my life that I've always counted on, and I thought I'd be that for her too. When Jessica told me she was getting engaged to Franklin, I was thrilled for her. They had been dating for about 5 years by then, and while I always had my reservations about Franklin, I never said anything. Why would I? Jessica loved him, and he made her happy, at least that's what I thought. So when she asked me to be her maid of honor, I didn't even hesitate. I jumped right in, excited to help plan her dream wedding. Little did I know, things would start unraveling faster than I could have imagined. The thing with Franklin is that he's always been a bit off. At first, I couldn't quite put my finger on it. You know how sometimes you get a vibe about someone? That's how it was with him. There were these little red flags over the years. Nothing huge, but they added up. He could be charming, sure, but there were moments when I saw a different side of him. He'd make these passive-aggressive jokes, or he'd flirt with other women when Jessica wasn't around. But she was head over heels for him, so I brushed it off. Things started to feel different when we got into the thick of wedding planning. Jessica was in full-on bride mode, and everything seemed perfect on the surface. But Franklin's behavior started shifting in ways I couldn't ignore anymore. It wasn't anything outright awful, but there was an edge to him. During one planning session, he made this comment, something about how Jessica was settling for him. He laughed it off, and Jessica didn't seem fazed, but it didn't sit right with me. Who says that? Then came the bachelorette party, where everything took a turn. We were out celebrating, having a great time, when Franklin's best friend, Dan, made a comment that stopped me in my tracks. It wasn't meant for me to hear, but I did. He casually mentioned something about how Franklin wasn't exactly ready for this whole marriage thing, and it wasn't too late to back out. My heart dropped. I tried to push it aside, thinking maybe it was just Dan being drunk and stupid. But that seed of doubt had been planted. From that point on, I couldn't stop noticing things. Franklin would be distant during wedding planning meetings, or he'd crack a joke about how marriage was a trap. Jessica, bless her, was oblivious, caught up in the excitement of it all. I didn't know whether to say something or keep quiet. I mean, who wants to be the one to ruin their best friend's wedding over some gut feelings? The real tipping point came when Jessica told me about the prenup. Her family had insisted on it since they'd been through some financial struggles in the past, and it was just a precaution. But Franklin was acting weird about it, refusing to sign and making a big deal out of something that shouldn't have been an issue. Jessica brushed it off, but I knew better. Something wasn't right. The night before the wedding, Jessica and I stayed up late talking, like old times. She was nervous, nothing out of the ordinary, just pre-wedding jitters. I tried to reassure her, telling her everything would be fine. But deep down, I wasn't sure if I believed it myself. I couldn't shake the feeling that something was seriously off. Later that night, when I thought everything had settled down, Franklin cornered me. He was drunk, and what he said left me reeling. He confessed that he wasn't sure if he was really ready to marry Jessica. He talked about unresolved feelings for an ex, and how he didn't know if he was making the right choice. I didn't know what to say. I just stood there, shocked and confused. Should I tell Jessica? What if this was just drunken rambling? I didn't sleep that night. All I could think about was whether I should say something or let it go. The wedding was hours away, and if I spoke up, I'd be the one responsible for blowing everything up. But how could I let my best friend marry someone who wasn't fully committed to her? The next morning, I tried to confront Franklin, hoping he'd clear things up, or at least acknowledge what he'd said. But he brushed